Hello.
Hello there. Good morning.
Welcome to the Animation Breakfast Club.
Welcome, welcome.
I'm just going to immediately flip us over to the right screen.
Okay. How are you guys doing this morning? / evening for you. How is everybody?
Up next on the Anime Morning Challenge is Miss Mama Work. Thank you for submitting an animation, or a storyboard, I should say.
Still sleepy, but I'm glad you guys are doing good. I think we're doing okay. We just got up, so we haven't really touched base with one another yet. How are you doing, Mike?
I'm okay.
You sleep okay?
Yeah, I think so. I could do with more. I could always do with more.
You want to take just a day to just sleep the entire day? Not get up at all? Like, wake up in the morning and be like, nah.
Just be like, nah, not today. Not today.
I mean, I've heard that oversleeping is just as bad as undersleeping for you.
Yeah.
It's weird though, isn't it? Because you kind of feel like when you don't get a lot of sleep every day, that you have a detriment that you can fill back up by like suddenly having a lot in a short amount of time. But I don't know if it works that way. I don't know if it's like you're depleting a tank and then you can just fill that tank back up.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Because they say you can be sleep deprived. Which means it sounds like you're deprived from sleep. Maybe if you get 8 hours, then you're like...
You're okay again.
Yeah.
Yeah, you might not necessarily need to get like... Well, I've missed cumulatively, 27 hours of sleep. So if I do it all in one go, I'll be fine. Oh, Mama Work, you're in a meeting. But you'll be there in a couple of minutes. Well, no worries. I mean, you can't hear us, so you can't hear me say this. But we can always start with someone else's. And then ping backwards. Yeah, I will probably spend a long time reviewing stuff. But yeah. I feel like I had weird dreams. I had dreams about the cat. And how she refuses to give me affection.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
That's leaked into your dreams.
It has. I dreamed that also she couldn't jump onto anything without, like, missing it.
Revenge dreams.
Gravity will
sort you.
I'll show you. I'll make you incompetent in my dream.
You try to do the thing, but I've dreamt that you cannot do the thing.
Steiny says, I didn't finish my submission, so it's only 2 minutes long. Only 2 minutes, Steiny. Can't believe that. I mean, that still seems pretty long to me.
Did you resubmit one, Steiny, or is it still the one from yesterday?
So I'm sure it's fine. Hey, Neep.
Hola.
Hola.
Still the same one. Okay, cool.
No problemo. Should we go on to Steiny's first? Since Miss Mama Work is in the meeting.
Sure. I think that works.
So I'll do a fast recap. The challenge last week was to do a storyboard around the idea of being stalked and to give it a mood through the choices of the shot you'd made. And we're going to look at them. And if we have any feedback, we'll give it. And if we don't, we'll just and ah at it. And we hope everybody had fun doing it. Because we have fun watching them.
Okay, so Steiny says, should we play through Steiny's first and then say what Steiny said? Or
No, let's read what Steiny said first.
Oh, it was actually intended to be longer, believe it or not. Apologies for the length. Feel free to be much more reserved in feedback. I would say that the biggest thing that creates struggle for me currently is my general ability to draw. My lines are rather unkempt and imprecise. I think in general I need to do more studies on anatomy. As a side note, this project was heavily inspired by the song Desperado Vespa by Look Mom No Computer, particularly in dialogue.
Oh, cool. I don't know if I've heard that song. I might have to listen to it after the stream so I can connect the dots together. Also, Tim, no worries, you didn't have time to do it. Is totes cool. Alright, let's have a look. I'm gonna press play. Oh shit. They've got a hammer! Run! Oh. Ooh. I'm so frightened. Ah! Looks like that might be the end.
Ooh.
Steiny, that's so cool, man.
He must say yes.
Look at that.
Make him say yes.
Thank you so much for the follow.
Oh, thank you.
Shocked animation. Thank you. Yeah, Steiny, this is awesome. Wow, you really do build up a lot of mood in this as well. Like, really awesome job, man. Super cool stuff going on. I was gonna ask, when I saw this shot, did you do this in Blender? Just because a lot of the 3D moves that I've seen have been done in Blender Grease Pencil.
This is probably in Clip, is my guess.
Can you do 3D stuff in Clip too? That's cool.
I guess maybe?
Yes, CSP is legit! I saw someone the other day, like, they had drawn a face in Clip, and it was like 3D, and they could rotate it around.
Really?
Yeah, it was, I mean, I won't go into it too much now, because we're looking at Steiny's animation, but it was pretty awesome. I'd never seen that before. Oh, the grid is technically a 3D object. Cool. Also, you can actually put a grid down on the ground and then use that. Thank you for the grids, by the way, Steiny. Appreciate it. Yeah, let's see. Let's look through it again and see if there's any notes that we can pick out.
Yeah.
I think the first part, like the first third or the first half of it is probably my favorite. I just think this is like really nice continuity, really nicely established mood here, nice pace of all the action. Yeah, so one thing is if the person is walking past alleyways and such, it'd be nice to have like an indication that that's what they are, because when he first walked past them, even though you indicate right here that these are alleyways that he's going to be passing, I kind of read them more as he was passing like pillars almost.
Oh, okay.
Just because there's not much detail on what they are exactly. So I'd maybe just give them like a little indication of like going backwards in space, so they don't feel quite so flat. I'm just going to reduce my brush size a little bit. Bricks would probably be bigger than that, looking at the scale of this dude. Yeah, give me some indication that these are alleyways that go back in space.
Yeah.
I think will really help. Which hopefully won't take too much time to do.
You could have a diagonal line showing where the edge of the shadow would be, just so like you can see part of the wall going around.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
And then as you pass it, that shadow line would change, showing the perspective.
I wish that you could draw on this so you could show me exactly what you mean, Mike.
Yeah.
But you're not gonna... You could probably log in and do that if you wanted to show.
Oh, sure.
Because I'm not 100% sure what you mean. Hey Devon, good morning! How are you doing? Oh, Miss Malwork, you didn't miss it. We decided to do Stanies first instead, so that you wouldn't.
So are you in a meeting?
What, Miss Malwork?
No, you. Are you in the meeting?
I can be. There we are. I am now.
Okay, and that's what... Yeah, okay, cool. I've never done this before. So you were here? Is there a way to quickly jump to where you were giving notes? Yeah, there we go.
How did you do that?
How did I do that?
Mm-hmm.
There's an icon on the bottom left and bottom right. Bottom left, where it has like a vertical line and an arrow and a vertical line and an arrow.
I see it.
You can just jump between them.
I'm gonna pop on this.
Okay, thank you. Is there any undo? There's not, is there?
There is, yeah.
Oh. Okay. This one? Yeah.
You can just press Control Z, I think, as well.
Okay, cool. So what I was meaning was maybe like a straight line down here, showing like this would be lit, and this would be dark. So that as you passed, this would like. This could flatten out because it would be you'd be passing it, and the plane would be changing in relative to the camera. Maybe even have one on the other side, so you could just see it being lit. So it's less of a square shape and more of a receding shape into the... Oh, thank you.
Thanks so much for the subscription, Josie. Thank you.
That makes sense now?
Yeah, it does. Thank you.
Cool.
So I wasn't 100% clear what these were.
Those are loudspeakers on the ground.
Okay.
But I don't know where they're from, whether maybe it's a broken hi-fi or something.
Yeah, that was one of the things that that confused me first time around. Mainly because I figured that they were some kind of audio device. But then when I didn't see them on the ground here on this shot, I wasn't sure like what exactly they were meant to be. So I think, let's see, what could we do to indicate that they're speakers more?
I mean,
sometimes
speakers have a mesh and maybe like crisscrossing rather than just one directional shading on them.
Yeah, I think it could be a little deeper as well to fit all of the stuff inside. I think the main issue though was just the continuity of them not being in the next shot. That threw me a little bit.
Right. Because he
That
steps
made me
over them.
question.
some squiggly lines to show the sound is coming from there. Yeah, that could help. That could help too.
That could help, yeah, actually. It's a good idea. Have like this little thing.
Yeah, is the scream a little bit too much? Habbo suggested it, but it does.
The agent of chaos.
It does take me unaware as well.
Frightening.
You're using your electrical effects for sound. I've seen you do that before.
Have you?
Yeah, you did that in Girl in the Gloom.
Did I?
Yeah.
Oh. Oh, with the speakers. Huh. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know where the wires come out on speakers. They probably don't come out the bottom. That's probably not where they come out. But the main issue that I had with it, because I did figure they were probably auditory devices, and I really like the maintaining of the screen direction here for his walking is super nice as well. And again, the pace for it is really nice. Is that if you're going to then have him turn around, I feel like we need to have that still on the ground. One of the things that I'd say is a note overall for the sequence is without any landmarks, it gets a little bit confusing later on to know where everyone is and where everyone's going. Because all the alleys kind of look the same, and the two different sides of the street look the same, and there's not a landmark at one end or the other to show which direction they're headed in. So it can become a bit confusing when they're walking down alleys later, or if they're changing direction to know exactly where they're going. It can become a little bit confusing to keep track. Yeah, ambiguous is a good word for it. I just add in that broken speaker. Yeah, so we can see that between these two shots. Let me make sure that drawings are being held. You can see that he's past this.
Mm-hmm.
And just making sure these drawings don't hold too long. There we go. But I love, yeah, this is awesome. I think it might be nice to show him stopping walking and then holding for a second before he turns around. If you want to have him responding to the hello sound coming from the speaker in a shocked way, I think he needs to turn around sooner. So that we have hello Sam and then he immediately responds.
Right, gotcha.
Rather than stepping first. Or if you want to have it like he's heard it and he's kind of scared and turning around, then I'd have to step and hold for a second before he turns, like he doesn't want to see what's behind him.
Yeah, I think one reaction, if it's quick, will suggest that this has never happened before. If the other reaction is he doesn't want to turn around, it suggests that he has had it happen before and it's happening again. So depending on what you want to do for your story, choose either one of those. Because if he knows kind of what might be behind him, he's going to be less willing to turn around to confirm it.
Yeah, because at the minute it's reading like he continues walking and then he turns around, which makes me feel like he only hears it when he turns around, but we've just seen it happen in the previous shot.
Mm-hmm.
So it should have already happened. So either cut straight to him whipping around, or show the denial by having him pause.
Pause and maybe bring his shoulders up, kind of like, no.
Then pause after step. And then turn around more hesitantly. Or reluctantly almost. And then this, which is really nice. All your shot choices here are really nice, Tiny. Like, it's very clear in these shot choices exactly what's happening, and you're maintaining like who's on what side of the screen and what direction they're traveling in. Super cool. This is a great shot. Love this shot. It's so evocative of like pulp horror movies.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah. A street light could be a landmark. That's a great idea. Yeah, street lights would be really good to add in here. For sure. I'd say just watch that vanishing point, because I can see you have a grid in here, but your environment is like no longer adhering to the grid. I can see the horizon. Wait,
Yeah.
that grid is adhering. This grid isn't. I can see that if you extended that grid, it might actually...
Mm-hmm.
It actually wouldn't. It's a bit...
It's a bit tilted
the grid
up.
is a bit flatter than what you have there.
Yeah.
So be careful of that, especially in this shot. I can see that the grid is very different to what your actual vanishing point is here. Like your horizon line would be here-ish. Just because if you're having like these buildings going away from him into the distance, you probably want to have an indication of those. As well, you know. And you could set up the other side of the street here too, if you wanted to.
You could set up the
phone
box as well. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that line makes no sense to the grid, but there we go. That makes sense. Let me pop that tracing paper back on. Grid doesn't match. Wow, my apostrophe looks like an I.
Yeah.
And I've added a K at the end of match instead of a H. That's good. There are. Grid doesn't match. Set up horizon line. Distant buildings.
Is mocking you in the chat.
How could you? Can't believe you'd mock me this way. There's something about writing in this program. Like, normally I'm fine, but writing this program for some reason, I think it's because I'm trying to talk and think at the same time as writing. So I'm trying to write distant buildings while I'm talking about something else.
Oh, maybe.
And just other letters get in there from what I'm saying. Other side of street. That's what it is, I swear.
Ola says, never mock, it's all with love. I'm just a pirate repeating whatever I hear. Match.
Match.
Magic.
This is an awesome shot though. Really like this.
Yeah.
Very cool composition.
Give me a shot.
Give you a shot.
Yeah.
Okay, go for it.
I did. It was a. Wait, it did a new drawing.
Yeah, that's what it do. It starts a new drawing whenever you add a note.
There you go.
If you want to add to my drawing, you can just find it and then...
What, do it on your drawing as well?
No, you don't have to like move it back to my drawing or read it on my drawing. Like, this is fine. I'm just saying if you did want to add to my drawing, then that's how you would do it.
Okay. Yay, did it.
Okay, I'm deleting this one.
Oh, I wrote it so much better the first time.
There we go. Okay. This is great. We cut back to him. Nice acting, nice cutting. This is like great expression here, Steiny. Really like this. And then that's awesome. I wasn't expecting that. That was really cool. And then we get this rotation.
This is great.
Yeah, this is awesome. I really like this. This might be my favorite shot. This little sequence here. Really nice. This bit is where I got a little bit lost. I think it's just because everything was very close in. And when we cut to this shot here, I didn't quite recognize what I was looking at first. And that's only because, I mean, obviously that's because we're so zoomed in that it's actually kind of hard to make out. So I think that's easily fixed by you just like going in there and giving the drawing a bit more detail close up so we can tell what it is.
Yeah.
It's just because it's so zoomed in. But yeah, this is great. I would love a little bit more definition on the shape of him near the camera here. Because I can't actually tell what's happening with him here. Like for me, I think it would be great to have, and let me just make sure that I'm on the right frame and step back so I can look between them like an animation. You know, I want to have, that'll do it. His side profile, his nose. I want to be able to like track him between frames. If that's his shoulder coming up. I want to see him like stumble backwards. And for it to be very clear what's happening there. Let me increase the size of his face a little bit. What do you think, Mike?
Yeah, that helps to track what he's moving. I think, depending on the next drawing, maybe Steiny was thinking that he was moving away, like turning towards us, the viewer, and that we're only seeing the side of his head.
Well, this pose is looking straight into the alleyway.
That's true. But who is that frame? Is that the attacker or is that the...
Which frame?
No, India pretty much nailed it. Okay, cool.
Which frame?
The next one. Is that the attacker?
No, that's him. Look, this is a zoom out.
Okay.
So this is us zooming out from him.
Okay.
Oh, I see. You're swiveling around again. I think the swivel might be a bit much. The swivel background after we've just swiveled here. I think this one works really well. I think the second one here, where we rotate around again, is a bit much. I think instead, you could maybe even have this phantom character strike down with the hammer and that turn into a screen wipe. So what I'm thinking is you could potentially... Let me just delete this. There we go. Gonna draw some little frames up here. Just because there's not much room on screen for him. And we want a nice creative way to cut to the next shot, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he notices this alley dweller. And then you can have the back of his head as he like backs into the camera and past. As this thing emerges from the shadows. And then we have this thing swipe towards us with the hammer. that we actually see the hammer start to come down. Need to make it a little bit bigger. And come towards the camera, and then we wipe that completely. Like we've just been struck by this hammer.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can cut into close up on this guy's expression with his arms like shielding his face.
And then zoom out.
Yeah, and then he, opens his eyes, realizing that he's still alive and nothing's happened to him yet. And then we do the zoom out. Where we see that there's no one in the alley anymore.
It's interesting. I know you did it for space, but having that triangular thing, you could show that like the cuts would still work if you went furthest left, furthest left, furthest left. Where it's like he's about to attack him, you cut to him closing his eyes and raising his hands,
like
and you zoom out to show that he's
Yeah, that's true.
But you've added these additional panels that just make it a little bit more specific but creative as well. Don't know, it's just cool.
Yeah, just because like I think one of the things is we're so close to the camera with this shot.
The camera is so close to the action.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. That's what I meant. Thanks, Mike. Yeah, the camera is so close to the action with this shot that there's really not a lot of room to see what's going on. So keeping it very simple, like having the obvious happen and this character just come down with the hammer and strike the screen almost, or wipe it, it's probably the easiest way for you to get to the next shot. Claustrophobia makes sense, but also you want to make sure that it's clear. And I think this rotation here doesn't feel like it's selling at the minute.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just checking my notes were still there. They're there for like one frame. Should probably keep them on screen a little bit longer. There we go. So again, just make sure that you find that that ground plane as well. You find that horizon line. So you can like potentially set up the other side of the street if you need to. Just to make sure that we keep giving the scene depth.
Yeah.
Because it would be great to set this phone up earlier, as Mike was saying. Because when I first saw this, I didn't actually know what it was. It should have been obvious in retrospect that it was a phone because of Ring. I think a little bit of more detail on this would really help too, though. Like
I think if you're going to set it up with such a close, like, if you're going to set it up with a shot where it's so close to his face, I would actually obscure the phone at first and then have it pan a little of him turning around to reveal it, because this composition with the big head and the small subject
Do you not feel like that might be too similar to what we just did? Where we kind of revealed the alleyway. I'll just show you again. This bit where we kind of used the head as a wipe.
No, I don't think so, because it's more like it would do this.
Yeah, no, I get you.
Maybe it's too repetitive.
You could totally do that though. Let's see.
I'm just thinking if he's just sort of like, huh, and then there's a ringing sound, but you as the audience can't see it because he can't see it.
Then that does put you in his shoes more.
Yeah.
Which is nice. So you would have background move this way. It'd be like a little bit of parallax.
Yeah.
And foreground move that way.
You thought about that, but ended up not doing it because you didn't want to tween layers. Gotcha.
Foreground. Background. I think it would also be cool to, at the minute you kind of have it framed in an alleyway. This might be a nice place to put your street lamp, so you can literally spotlight it. But definitely it'd be nice to see this phone set up in an earlier shot, because part of the reason that I get a little bit fuzzy on the geography that's happening in this sequence is because a lot of the things that you use for shots disappear after they're used.
Yeah.
Like the speaker and the phone. They don't appear until they're needed, and then they disappear once they've been used, which makes it kind of hard to keep track of where the character is. So having us like set this up way back here, you know, as you're setting the other buildings up down the street, and you maybe even have those street lights.
Nice. Oh, you're using yellow to signify light.
Yeah, well, if I used red, then it would just look like a building. Let me do it here.
I meant that more as I was using yellow to signify light.
Yeah. I took your thing because it made sense.
Cool.
Yeah, I think a little bit of parallaxing here might be real nice. I'll say, consider parallax. Mainly because it puts us in the character's shoes. And I always really love that with horror scenarios. Like, anything we can do to experience what the character's experiencing with them is, in my opinion, much scarier. I like the way you have this kind of revealed and light up a little bit more. You could even have the street light flicker on if it is under a street light, so it's almost like even more weirdly supernatural, divine, that it happens to flicker on just as he looks at it. And then this is very clear. At this point, I very much know that he's looking at the phone box, so that's good. I think I would love to have a close-up of the phone at some point. I just kind of want...
There's a close-up coming up, I think.
This is just me. There's a sideways, there's a from the side close-up, because he picks it up and takes it to his ear.
Oh, you want it like just a straight on, like, yeah.
But I kind of want... the number pad for anyone who's like trying to decipher my drawing. Even closer, actually. Like this, maybe.
I have an idea. I'll let you do yours.
Yeah, let me do mine first. And then... Just because, like, otherwise I'll lose my train of thought. And then never be able to get it back. Because I just think it would be awesome to have this vibrating really violently as it's rigging. To kind of break up the stillness of the shots.
I like that.
Like, I really want to see it, like, jingle jangle around, like, really insistently. You know? Because it's kind of... It represents the amount of trauma it's giving this guy just from existing and ringing. Like, to almost give it a personality and make it as insistent as possible.
Yeah, I like
he
that.
pick it up.
Jingle jangle, it's a Christmas special.
Jingle jangle!
Yeah, I like that.
And then you can have it, like, give it the lighting from above and everything. To make it extra spooky, but just have it really violently, like, jangling around in its holder. What were you going to say, Mike?
I was going to do a shot more looking up at the phone.
Okay. Go on.
Oh. To draw. That's not the color I need.
That's not the color I need.
So, like, looking up at the phone. Where's the eraser?
I like it. Don't erase anything, it looks great.
Yeah. So that it's like even more...
Your shot's cooler, I like your shot. Hold on. Is that the building you do in the background?
That's the light.
Hold on. There.
Okay. So maybe every time it rings, it'd be like ring, and then go to India's shot, ring, and then it starts shaking and stuff.
I like your shot. I think you could just replace my shot with your shot. Just have it vibrate really violently in this shot instead.
Oh, cool.
I like this shot better because I think it like makes the phone look even more intimidating. You know, because we're looking at it from a low angle. So you're putting it in a position of power. You are, though.
Grovel before the phone.
The phone is your lord and master. So, like, I really like this shot. I think that's a cool idea. I'm going to put phone violently ringing. And then I do like your shot. But yeah, it ring! And this is nice. We get to see him pick it up. Everything's very nicely paced in this Steiny.
Call me, call me.
This part here where he has the wire, I feel like we could show that in a clearer way. That the wire from the phone is broken.
How would you do it?
I would probably show him actually like looking at the place he's just taken the phone from, and showing the cut off cord there.
Gotcha.
Instead, because I wasn't sure when he first held this up exactly what he was holding up or what significance it had. Do you have any ideas?
I think you could maybe just like cut to like where the end of the cord would be, where he's holding it. I don't know, like you could have it down by his like waist or something, and the cord just, you could have the cord slowly pan. You could have this shot slowly pan down as he's listening to it, and then it would just reveal that the cord isn't actually attached or something like that.
I think we have to be showing that he realizes that the cord is not attached, though, not just that it isn't attached, but that he realizes.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Maybe try some stuff. Could have it like this. Holding the phone. And we're in like an up angle looking down at him. And we get to see his eyes actually go down to the dangling cord. And then he can pick it up in shot.
Oh, I see it now.
Yeah, if you put your feet in so you can see.
It turns out that the phone was Bluetooth connected. The scariest kind.
Scariest phone. Yeah, like if these are his feet on the floor, we're like at an extreme high angle shot.
I just want to point out that with the invention of additional technology, a lot of like horror tropes have like can cease to happen now, unless you set it in somewhere where you're out in the kind of like remote areas that haven't been updated. It's like cutting the cord on someone's payphone or
That's
whatever.
why so many horror movies are about kids going into a cabin or something.
Yeah, because now it's just like my Wi-Fi doesn't work.
Well,
Stuff.
honestly, I think that people should use that in their horror movies. Like, I think as well as cutting off possibilities, there are a lot of possibilities now that have opened up.
Yeah, kids trying to connect to a Wi-Fi network and one of them just appears and it's like, don't go in the house.
I'm thinking more like you can't disconnect. Like, there's the sense that people could be watching you at all
gotcha.
times.
Oh, okay, I
Like,
see what you're
there's other
saying.
aspects of horror that you can delve into with that kind of stuff. But yeah, I think if you show it in like more of a shot like this, where we can actually see him look down and realize it's connected to the phone, and then we can actually see him pick at it with his hands and be like, oh shit, and then you can have him turn and then cut that into the next scene. So you're cutting on the action of him looking over to where the alley is. Or you could just cut to a point of view shot of the phone booth. I'm wondering about maybe this kind of shot where he's like, it's a Dutch angle because everything's weird, and he's facing the phone booth.
Hello, Moto.
Hello, Mortal. And we just see that the wire is just like
The horror idea. This smartphone keeps installing the same app over and over again, no matter how many times you delete it.
you made it even bigger. You could have the wire hanging more in the foreground. Might be nice. Make a bigger deal of it. Like show that wire is disconnected. Does that make sense, Mike?
Yes, yeah, it does.
Because then you're really making it like a feature of the shot. Like, oh shit, this wire is not connected to anything.
Cool. I think we should probably move on to another.
Michael, we're not done.
Okay.
And then we look over to the alley. Let me just take the drawings off here. And again, this is where the geography gets a little funky for me. So he's across the street here looking at the phone, and the phone is facing the alley he's just come from. And then he's facing the phone booth here, and he looks to the side, which would be down the street. Right? But then we cut to him looking into an alley. But if the phone booth is here and he's facing it, then the alleys should be straight this way and straight that way. And that should be just a street, right?
Yes, I think so.
So this is where setting up that consistent geography, so you know exactly where you are in each shot, is going to like really help you tell the story. So I'm sure you could fix that by changing his positioning, or by setting up the phone to be in a slightly different place. Like if you just set the phone up here to be sideways instead.
Yeah, that makes more sense actually.
Then when he turns to the side to look down the alley, you know exactly where he's looking and what's to the side of the phone. I'll just put a little note, keep geography of scene in mind.
However, I think this is a good note, but when he does turn, he's on the other side of the phone box because he's on the right and the alley's on the left.
You mean the phone box will need to be on the other side of the screen, or he's looking behind the camera?
Like if you've got this shot here, go to the one where you were like, you see the guy in the alley.
Okay.
Oh no, he could do it. He could do it. He just turned away. It's fine. It's all good. It's all good.
Do it.
Yeah.
You could have him even like the phone booth here and the dude here, so he's like in between them.
Oh, I like that. Like that. That's the thing that's connecting him to the phone.
Oh, that's the person who's cut the wire. Because we're literally separating
he's
the wire.
between. Yeah.
So that's all just geography stuff. Okay, I forgot that picture holds. Let me take that off so it doesn't hold all the way through all these scenes. Can't believe how much you've done, Steiny. This is like amazing that you've managed to make such a long animatic. So yeah, I think that would help us a little bit. And then we get to see the hammer dude in the alleyway again. Let me take this off screen so it doesn't interfere with the shots. And then the face comes on. And we see him throw the phone down, which again, this shot makes sense if we set the geography up slightly differently and have the phone like facing him. And then he runs into the alley behind him. And that all makes sense, I think.
Yeah.
I think maybe this shot, you might want to just move things over to the left a little bit, give them a little bit more room to breathe. I think it would also help if this alley, even though we're looking straight at him here, if this alley was slightly more to the left here, sorry, to the right here, so bad with directions. I think that would help go into the next scene a little bit easier.
Yeah.
And then what I'm thinking for this is just like, it feels a bit unbalanced at the minute. If we maybe move this over just a little bit to here, it'll just give things a little bit more space to breathe. You could maybe even move it over a little bit more. But yeah. That's like the final note is just like this. It feels a little unbalanced and cramped on the right hand side, and like there's not really enough room for all the action. So it'd be nice to make more of a figure of that and have it like slightly less close to the border of the composition. Shift phone and alley. She's spelt wrong. That's ally. Alley to right. To give comp room to breathe. Awesome work though. Like, I really like your shot choices and how they're tying together.
Yeah.
Main things to just keep an eye on is the geography of the scene and making sure that you keep things consistent. Also, having a little bit more fun with your environments in terms of making sure that there are like landmarks or points of interest, so that it's not just a world of kind of grey boxes that all look the same. Will really help you in terms of selling the horror.
And it's not just a world of hammer space where things appear when they're needed and disappear when they're...
Yeah. Consistency is key. Amazing work though, Steiny. Like, you really did establish the mood super successfully. And I love a lot of these shots.
Good job.
Nice creative use of your character's positioning. I hope you had fun doing it. Let's see.
So Mama work next.
Yeah, we'll ping backwards to Miss Mama Works.
Cool.
And have a look at these. Let's have a look. I'm sure nothing bad will happen. Creepy. Okay, I think there are a few things here that we might be able to just make a bit clearer.
Mm-hmm.
But I got the story, which is awesome. So nice job. There's just a couple of times where we cut where I think that I can totally see what you're doing and what you're going for. But I think we can make it more obvious exactly what's happening. So we start with this nice establishing shot where we get to see our main character of interest walking down the street. It's a nice way to set up the scene. And then we cut to the side here, watching them pass these doors, and this all works okay. I'm wondering whether it might be nice to start her a little bit closer to where we last saw her in terms of our eye trace being on the screen. So just to start her a little bit further along, so that our eyes don't have to go backwards, especially because she's moving this way, so she's moving into screen, so our eyes having to go back a little bit to see her new position kind of interrupts the flow of the action a little bit. So where possible, we want the eye trace to be consistent between the scenes, so we're always making sure that we're directing where our audience's eye is. So little sketchy. This is your character. I've done the head way too small. I will enlarge this now. Just a little bit further along the screen. And that would be your starting position. To make sure that from this to this, our eye is already looking at her. Don't need to do any extra work. Every time you go super quiet, Mike, it makes me nervous.
How come?
I don't know. I guess I wonder if you have stuff to say.
No, I'm agreeing with you. And I'm also learning as I'm watching, so paying attention.
Have you ever seen Cats Don't Dance, Miss Mama work? I think you would like that movie. The character design here is a little reminiscent of it in a good way. Like, that show has beautiful designs. I need to remember to write down my reasoning for doing this. New start position. Watch eye trace. And then this shot's nice and obvious. She's just walking along the street same way she was before, passing these doors. And everything. And then we cut in. I feel like there must be a better way to use this cut in, just because it's so similar to what we've had before. And again, we're cutting backwards a little bit. So maybe what would be nice is to have the camera kind of semi-follow her during this scene. So rather than walking from screen right over to screen left and then cutting back to like a center shot, the camera's following her as she's going. So she is moving to the right, but she's moving to the right slightly slower because the camera's also like following behind and keeping pace. And that way we get to see more of the environment scroll past her too. And then when we cut here, it could be that she's only gone from this position to this position, but the door is still like long past back here. Am I making sense, Mike?
Yeah, I believe so.
I want to make sure that what I'm saying is decipherable, and I'm not wording it in a way which is impossible for people to understand.
No, I think you're getting your point across.
Does that make sense? Like, if essentially to have the camera follow them, you'd have the scrolling background.
Mm-hmm.
So it feels like we're moving with the character. And then you could finish with them in more of this position, and it would still feel like they'd walked a long way. And then I'll just put scrolling biggie. Scrolling biggie. I should increase my brush size a little bit for this one too. So we still have the doors and everything passing by. And then when we cut here, again our eye's in the right position to cut into the character. I do feel though like cutting in to a side profile like this when we've just seen a side profile, there's something about cuts being so close together that they kind of feel needless. That makes me feel like it might be nice instead to show a different angle of her. So here, her attention is caught by something, and it looks like it's caught by something to her left because she's traveling this direction. But when she looks up in the next scene, it's straight ahead.
Mm-hmm.
So what if we change this cut in here to instead be a close-up of her facing the camera? And then when her attention is caught, she can look straight up, and we can hook it into the next shot.
That makes sense.
Of her looking straight up. And it won't feel too similar to the previous shot, because we won't just be cutting in on something we're already looking at. So you could have a close-up here of her, like, she's looking that way because she's kind of feeling nervous, and she's got a hand behind her head. And we're seeing the background as she's walking along the street. And the background is scrolling, but we're keeping like pace with her essentially. So, cut to close up. I guess I'd call it a front shot instead. And then when her attention is caught by something, you can just have her look straight up and be like, oh.
Nice.
And then we would cut into her looking up here. And it's just a bird, so it's fine. So again, this shot to this shot, because they're so similar, it's kind of unclear as to whether this is meant to continue straight on from this shot where they're all one shot and we're just seeing her approach the corner in front of her and following her with the camera, or if it is actually a cut to a different angle. Do you see what I mean, Mike?
Yeah, because the camera could feasibly path it from where it is to where it ends up in the next shot. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, it just feels too similar between these two. I also do think it would be really nice to show her reaction here of like relief that it's just a bird, because I'm assuming this is like, oh, it's just a bird, it's fine. So I think maybe adding a little pose where she's like, oh, I'm so happy it was just a bird. Phew. And just giving that time to read would be really nice. Let's see what happens in the next shot so we can figure out if there's maybe a better angle we can go for with it. So we're having the camera follow here, and she realizes that the camera's following her and looks behind her, but there's nothing. Mm-hmm. So that's a point of view.
Gotcha.
So it might be nice to trail these two shots into one another if they naturally feel that way anyway.
Yeah, I think that could be the intention,
Yeah, then maybe have her sigh, give her a second to do that, and then have her continue walking. But try and tie these backgrounds together a little bit more. You might need a few more panels between these two to sell that one is going into the other seamlessly. Like, try and make the transition between these two very nice and smooth, so we really get the impression that we are following along behind. Like here, we don't want the position to jump, we want this to feel seamless. So when you zoom here, try zooming so that you put her into center frame. So when you cut over to this, there's not a jump in position. She's already there. And then this is a nice pose. And this, I think, has the same problem that Steiny was having, which is just that with no landmarks to show us which side of the street is which.
She could very well be in that scene.
Yeah, everything looks very similar. So it's kind of difficult to figure out what the geography is, because that looks so much like that. Like, there's the same turning and everything. The streetlight is on a slightly different side of the street, but like, rather than being over here, it's it's on this side instead.
I mean, flipping back and forth, we can see that it is the same. It is showing the reverse shot. It's just a little difficult to parse.
How can you tell it's showing the reverse shot?
Because if you put yourself
you're looking
there,
at this.
You're seeing these side houses. Yeah, you're looking across at that.
Yeah, I think you need some kind of landmark though to make that clear, because on first glance it's so similar and people aren't going to memorize when looking at this shot where the street lamps are and where the turns are.
Yeah.
To be able to make that. So having something like...
something unique.
Yeah, something like this shop has like a little striped thing outside it. You know, and a couple of barrels. And it's called Gino's. And when we cut back and we see this, you're like, hey, it's Gino's. I know that place.
I've seen that place before.
Yeah, that stood out to me.
Yeah, that makes way more sense.
Yeah, and suddenly it's way easier to see where you are. Also, another solution is you could just do the easy pop your character face in here, or pop the back of their head in here. So it's more of an over-the-shoulder shot. Gino's is great. They do great food at Gino's.
Miss Mama works. Gino's is my favorite store.
Yeah, I mean, this is the easy solution, but it's also like, it's effective. So there's nothing wrong with popping your characters over the shoulder shot in there if you want to make sure that you're being clear about stuff. Let me just move this back one. There we go. Yeah. And it's just... Is that a cat? No, it's a bird. Wait, it looks four-legged there. No, it doesn't. It's turned around. I get you. I was seeing...
Oh, I see what you're seeing.
Yeah, I was seeing this as being the head, and then the body, and then the, like, paws in perspective coming towards us.
Gotcha.
But it's a bird. I was like, wait a second. That's a cat. In a world where there are walking cats. What's going on?
What are you?
But no, it's just a bird again. And looking at the size of the bird, I've maybe drawn Gino's a bit small. but I mean, when you put in whatever landmarks you choose to put in, you can make them proper size. Gino's is a bird. It's a bird bar. It's only for birds, so it's bird sized, okay? And then she's like, oh, it's okay, it's fine. It's all fine. And then I'm not sure exactly what this expression is. Is she just worried? She's worried because she's like, maybe someone is following me though. And then she disappears around the corner. I'd love to have, in the same way we were saying to Vert yesterday, about showing the character or the van or the vehicle overlapping the hills to show they've gone behind them.
Yeah.
Just an extra pose here to like show that she has indeed gone behind this building.
She hasn't poofed out of existence.
Yeah, that overlap is so important. Overlaps tell us so much in drawing about where things are positioned. And then she should fail. And then she's gone. It just makes it so much clearer. And then da 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 da. There is someone following her. I feel like it might be nice to have him come into the scene in a way which pushes the perspective slightly more, because at the minute it's feeling very flat the way he kind of walks in. I would love to see him maybe come in from off screen a little bit more, so he's more like, oh, I saw her go down the alley. Now I'm going to go down the alley. Because he's a Mally the alley cat. And I'm proud of that.
So he's the same color as the bird. Did the bird turn into him?
I don't think that's what it is, Mike.
Okay.
But Mama Work can confirm that. Oh my gosh, if you're right, that'd be... I have a habit of mocking Mike about his ideas. When it comes to like, oh, maybe this happens in the story. Because they seem so out there. But it has this really disturbing habit of guessing twists super early on in things and just being right about it.
It was an actor!
We'll get to like season 3 and I'll be like, wait a second! How did you know that back in episode 2?
Yeah. Oh, interesting idea, but no.
He's like, the clowns did it. I'm like, that's ridiculous. You're ridiculous. And then season 3 comes out and it's like, the clowns were the evil ones all along.
I mean, she gets scared by a bird, it flies over, and then she's like, oh no, there's something behind me, and it's a bird. For me, the story is setting up of like, the bird is evil, it is following her,
that's
and
the
now
big
it's a
twist.
person.
Is that she thinks it's fine because it's just a bird, but it's not fine because the bird is the evil one. Maybe you're just too good at storytelling, Mike. Like, you see the foreshadowing that isn't there.
You're foreshadowing me. I see you are foreshadowing me.
Here we are. So I just like use foreshortening or perspective slightly more. What would you call that, Mike? Like someone coming into camera rather than kind of being more flat on. Use depth more? That's it.
Yeah.
That's the word. Use depth more. Also, any excuse to put this dude into shadow so that we can make them look super shady. Ha! No pun intended.
You it wasn't a pun.
It was shady.
Yeah,
I was shading him in.
Okay, fine.
Yeah. I thought it was good.
It's mostly just because all the other animate things are blue. I'm like birded blue, guy blue.
You probably
guy.
don't need this frame from me. You can draw a better one than I drew. But yeah, and again, just making sure that when they pass this corner, we show the overlap of them doing so. So we know that they went this way. The tails will tell which direction they went.
The tales, they tell a telling to the
Tales,
story that
tales.
you're experiencing.
The tales will tell. The past, the future, and the present as well. The tales are tales. Just draw one. It will show you where the character's gone.
Good work, Miss Mama work.
Yes, awesome stuff. I just got to go to the loo. So please excuse me as I take a fast bathroom hiatus. A hiatus to the bathroom, not from the bathroom.
Okay, well, while you were in the bathroom, I will show them the gift that I made.
Oh no, okay, I'm sorry guys.
Do.
I twinged a nerve in my leg as I was getting up.
Oh.
And then had to immediately sit back down. Mike looked at me very weirdly. I got up, kind of stumbled a bit and then sat down. You know when you get up and your bone goes all weird and your leg feels all weird and you're like, oh no, oh no.
Fine.
That happened. But I'm good now.
Download this GIF. Do. Save. So, in my off time at the weekend, I started making a 3D model of Leo from Rise of the TMNT, and then I started making the body, and it was cursed. So, I joked with I think it was tiramisu. I'm sorry. I could just go and look. I could just go and look. Oh, it was pen. It's totally pen. About this model running, and instead I put it into Mixamo, auto rigged it, and made it dance. So, hopefully this doesn't break everything. There we go. There he goes. So we'll just bring that up for a little bit. Yeah. Him a low poly boy. Yeah. He's not really looping all that well, is he? He doing a struggle. It's beautiful. Thank you, Robin. Thank you. Mixamo is a wonderful thing. It's not looping all that well. It makes me sad.
Is this going to be season 3? This is the animation quality you've come to expect from Dorian Swift, right? Us taking stock movements and applying them to terrifying turtle-like figurines. Look at those spaghetti limbs.
Look at the little bend in the feet. So good. Anyway, back to... That's the movie.
I like the way that his body looks like it's a different shade from his head as well. So it really does look like one of those toys you used to get where they have like the plastic cast head and then just like a cloth body. And you can feel the round neck join through the cloth.
Oh yeah.
I hate those when I was a kid. I hated them so much. Alright, let's have a look at Dark Bolt. So this is it's kind of difficult to read the stuff at the top, but I think it's Dark Vault, and then is it 124.tumblr?
I can't read it.
Oh wait, it's way easier to read when I let it fade in. Thank you very much, Sandip, for the follow. Okay, let's hit play and have a look.
Welcome, thank you. I'm tracking.
Nice.
Hey!
It all links together!
Hey! Cool!
Hey! One more time just to clarify for myself.
It's like, I see you are planning things.
Cool.
And I like
Alright.
that you've, in that shot, you adjusted it with the feedback in mind and made it more of an elevated shot.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, cool.
That shot's working really well now, I think. So yeah, this first bit, like, I think it's super clear. We're looking at footprints. We start on the footprints, we're looking at them, that's the subject of a shot. Then this person steps in and we pan up to see him also looking at the footprints. And so that's like a really nice way to very obviously say straight off the bat, this dude is tracking someone.
Yes.
Or trying to. I think potentially when you zoom out on this shot here, you might want to keep that footprint in shot more. Just because at the minute it feels like there's a space behind him where something might happen, but then we end up cutting anyway. So I think you could, rather than have him center, maybe have him on one of the third lines.
Mm-hmm.
So let me show you what I mean. And then you could keep both the thing he's looking at and him in shot at the same time. So I'm thinking... This is our floor plate. keep this footprint in. And have him also looking at it.
Night-o, blah blah neeb.
Night night, blah blah neeb. Like this instead, so just shift him over to this third. If I divide it into thirds. And that's a half. So rather than have him center, just have him primarily on the third line. And then you can put your other subjective interest on the other third line. And it'll help keep everything in shot.
Nice.
And then, like, nice cut here. We keep the fist and the top of his head on screen, so it's very obvious where we're cutting from and to. He's maintaining his position to the left of the people who are coming up behind him. Super clear, very nice. This cut's also really nice. I really like being able to see them from this character's perspective through the leaves.
Yeah.
Really nice shot. Again, very clear, maintaining the character direction. Makes sense.
Devin.
I'd perhaps, again, on this shot, since we have these characters on the left here, running into the underbrush in the background, I'd maybe give them more room. Because it feels like the two main characters, again, are center, but that doesn't leave much room for the characters in the background to move around. So, maybe consider instead one day I'll be able to draw like a box first time without needing to do like 100 lines to get there.
You gotta draw from your heart.
Draw from your pelvis.
You just rotate from your
Yeah,
hips.
just your entire upper body spins in a circle.
You just need that upper body strength, India, to maintain. Just keep completely still on all of your limbs and your chest, and then you just move from your hips for those subtle micro twitch movements that you need for drawing.
You know, you draw from the wrist when you're doing very small circles, and you draw from the hips when you're doing large circles.
When you're doing rectangles.
Draw from the ankles when you're doing really, really big circles. So if you keep them more over to that side of the screen, then it gives you this nice platform here to have all this stuff happen in the background. And we're still keeping our focus on these two characters. Again, it's like the rule of thirds.
Mm-hmm.
She says she draws very bad thirds. There we go. Gosh, what I wouldn't give for Storyboard Pro to have a thirds overlay. That'd be so helpful.
Does it not?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't have like any layout overlays, like no spirals, no thirds, no nothing. So popping these guys here means that you have room for other action to happen here. Another really nice shot here. I really like the storytelling at the beginning bit here. There's not much for me to say other than just pushing the compositions a little bit, because I really like the way that you're setting everything up. It's all very clear. Nice character expressions. We cut back to this shot and we see that they are going in the other direction. Makes sense. This dude walks off. I was going to say, for a second I thought it just cut with him like that, and he was just like, oh, I guess I'll just wait for all my friends. No, we see him go off in the other direction. So we've set up very clearly like what direction everyone's going in. She's going in the same direction that those two background characters just went in. This big orc dude is going in the direction of the fox like character. They're all splitting up to try and find this person. this is where it starts to get a little bit unclear to me, this cut. Because we've just seen them go off into the background this way. And so cutting back to them facing the camera, I don't really feel like I know where they are. Like, have they passed through this foliage and now they're on the other side and we're reversing the camera to come and see them from the front? Like, I don't really have a sense of where exactly they are.
Yeah.
I think it might be nice to maybe precede this with a shot of them travelling through the undergrowth a little bit and then stopping. So maybe what I'm saying is it might be nice to restage this as not a front shot. But to keep them going the direction that we know she was going and they were going to, which is left.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, like the last thing we see of them is this. And then they're here. You know, but I don't know what they're looking at or for. So I think I would change this to maintain the direction of their travel.
Darvel asks, a new establishing shot when the environment changes?
That would definitely help, but also you need to make sure that the establishing shot you give us is one which maintains character direction and is very clear. Because you can just show us a picture of a forest, but I won't know exactly where I am in that forest.
Yeah.
You know? So, you know, I get Mike to do this a lot with colour. Like, for example, if you could see the sky here and you set up the sky over here as being pink and the sky over there as being blue, then again you have like two things you can keep hitting with the backgrounds to show people where they are geographically.
Yeah.
So for these characters, it's more that the last time we see them, they're running away from us, and then the next time we see them, they're facing us, and they look like they've found something, but I'm not sure how far in that they are, if they've passed through to the other side. Like,
there's nothing in this shot connecting us to the last shot.
Yeah. What might be nice is if this character runs off, we see that character walk to the right, and then you could whip over this way, and you could use one of the trees as a wipe, and then you could wipe into the next shot of your first characters traveling.
The camera shows us that it is moving to the left, and then we rejoin the others. Yeah, that's cool. I
like wiping with a tree because we then get the impression we're still in the forest, and we also get the impression that this blue character is almost following them now. So, like this tree at the side of the screen here, you would bring in and across as a dark foreground element that would wipe the camera. So the background here would be the new background, and this is the old scene going off. New background. This scene.
It says wiping with a tree sounds wrong out of context.
Wipe with foliage when you're in the forest, guys. Because you don't always have access to everything you need. So be sure to wipe with foliage. So then we can continue that wipe into these dudes traveling through the forest. Like so. And then I think after that you could cut to this. Or you could have them run in and crouch down and then cut immediately to the next shot. Either one would work. Because what really matters is what you're showing in this shot. And I think what you're showing in this shot is that this character has found something.
Yes. Yeah.
So this is another way that you can show that same thing. Is to have them run in and then stop. And then you can have this other character enter behind, you know? And then you could cut straight to this. And I'm assuming it's because the light, they've seen the light over there.
That could be a little bit more obvious.
Yeah, it could be more obvious in this shot, and I think you also kind of need to set it up. You don't necessarily need to set it up if you just have them run in and then stop, and then we see this. I think if you had a front-on shot, you would need to set it up. But I think with a side-on shot, you're okay because you actually show them entering in. You don't just show them already there having found something.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the thing that we're really missing here. So yeah, things that you could do to maybe make this more obvious is you could show little sparks coming up or something. So we know it's a fire. Have it flicker maybe. You could have it cast some light onto the characters over here themselves.
That could be really nice.
It would have to be casting light a long way, but for storytelling purposes, you can totally do that. You know, you would then probably have it also casting along the trees and such. But you could do that. And then this character's like, I'll go check it out. And they do. Up the tree they go. Lovely expressions on this character. That's just a really nice drawing. Just want to compliment you on that drawing. Super nice. And then this is a nice zoom in to show that something's wrong. They've heard something. I would love to show what they've heard rather than just have them react.
Like a close-up of a foot hitting a twig or something.
Yeah. Or you could just do it in this shot. Again, it would be a matter of staging this character on thirds rather than right in the middle. But if you had the same drawing that you do now, but just staged it slightly differently, then I think you could show behind the character as well. And you could just show something like a bush rustling. That would get their attention. Or like a stone being thrown. Or something. So, again, dividing into thirds, you would have the character here instead.
Stone throw was what Dartbolt was going for.
Yeah. In which case, I think it would be nice to show that. Show the stone throw, because otherwise...
I know, Sam.
Otherwise, we have no clue what it is that they are hearing or being disturbed by. So if we just go with what you have here at the minute and have some trees and such in the background.
You could even just have a slight cut to like your protagonist character with a stone in their hand and not even show the throw, just like you see it in their hand, and then audio wise you would hear a noise and you could connect the two. What do you think?
You could do it with audio. I always prefer to have something visually. Yeah, I always prefer to show.
Yeah, gotcha.
Rather than have the sound design makes a huge difference, and you definitely can just tell people things with the sound. But I prefer if people can watch just the action and figure out what's happening. That's just me though. Like other people make very, very good use of sound design. So we have this background playing here. Boop, boop, boop. With some trees and stuff. Some foliage. And I would just have some pebbles on the ground already anyway. You know, because it's a forest. But maybe just have like a pebble bounce in from off screen. And then have the dude react like, what? And turn around and go and look off in that direction to see what made the noise. And I think that'll just make it a bit clearer. You can still have the little zoom in on him, but starting it like this and showing the pebble first. Make it super clear. And then this is really nice. I really like this shot of the little blue character seeing them going and investigating and then running past and into cam. That's really nice.
Yeah. Using the camera move to allow them to enter is really nice.
Yeah, and then we see this other character up in the tree. I think honestly you could just cut to them up in the tree and looking. I don't think you even need to have them climb up because we've previously seen them climb up into the tree in the previous shot. So I'd kind of assume that they're already in there and settled.
Hmm.
And then we have this and we cut into the next shot. Super cool.
Cutting on their action as well. That's nice.
Yeah. I'd be tempted to add in another shot here. Not shot. Another pose here where the character just glances back over her shoulder for a sec. Just to show that they are still in danger of being discovered. Because at this moment, the bull character behind is still just looking at the foliage.
Mm-hmm.
But they could turn around at any second, and there's a very clean line of vision from there to the tree.
Yeah, it's true.
So I think kind of showing that they're like, I gotta be fast about this.
You could have them enter looking like that and then turn to see the one above them for expediency, maybe.
Yeah. Just to show that this character is like still aware that the other character is going to be looking for them.
Yeah.
And then they're like, gotta do this fast, gotta go and kick an ass.
Gotta go kick a butt. Kick a butt, yeah. Gotta go kick a butt, yeah.
Yeah. Lovely though. Like, I really like this, especially the first bit. It's reading really well, I think. It's basically just from this scene that I get confused as to where the characters are in relation to one another. I think that's because of the 180 degree flip that the cam does.
Yeah.
So I think easing that out by not having to do a full 180 flip, but rather keeping the direction of the characters consistent will make that a lot easier to understand. Nice job, Dark Bolt! Cool stuff, and I do love that it hooks into this shot as well.
Yeah.
It's so cool. Alright, we're on to the final. The final one. Ada Lovely. Look at this little thing. I immediately love it. There better not be anything bad that happens to this.
Or you're banned.
Okay, let's have a look. Oh no.
Okay, immediately dinosaurs.
Dinosaurs. Oh no. No! No! Okay, I'm gonna watch it through one more time.
I'ma close the farm. No more responses.
So it's such a sad story. I feel so bad for the dinosaur.
Wow.
Okay, let's see.
They're lovely. Cackles!
No! First of all, I love this. This dinosaur is my spirit animal. So, aw, Mike's making cute noises at me. So I thank you very much for the grid. I feel like the horizon point here doesn't quite make sense with the grid you have. Like because of the way you have the grid set up, it feels like this plane is kind of tilting down like this. So it feels like this either needs to be like an edge, like this, like a plateau, with trees and stuff on the other side of it. Or that horizon needs to like continue backwards a bit more than it does right now. You know? And then you would have trees and such.
Ada Lovely says, my little Trudon has exactly one brain cell in his head, bouncing around in its head like an old Windows screensaver.
Oh! I love them. Oh. He's doing his best. That's all. Just doing his best. But yeah, Mike, what do you think?
Can you take off the tracing paper thing for a second, just so I can see it properly? Right, yeah. I think the issue you're having really is that your grid is mostly parallel lines, which is it's throwing it off, because usually when things are parallel you're looking more down on them or directly down on them, so they're not receding into perspective. So yeah, I agree that this isn't really a perspective grid that's showing us the plane, because things come in and move and they don't look like they're coming down a slope. I think there's just a mismatch here of
like you could have that continue back and meet the trees, and if you had the trees like in perspective and such, then it would make sense. But having just it cut off at a flat plane implies to me that it's like the edge of a cliff.
Yeah.
Or something. So so just watch for that. So what advice would you give for that?
I think that like the horizon line that they've established where that trees on the left is hitting is it's fine. Like everything feels more kind of peaceful and flat on. I would just have the grid in mind that
just adjust
follows
the grid.
it. Yeah, just follow just the grid, because the landscape and everything feels grounded. So it's like the landscape was based on a grid, but the grid isn't based on the landscape. You know?
So let's see. So if let's say our vanishing point is somewhere over here, then you would have like what? This kind of thing?
He must say yes. Let's make him say yes.
Yeah.
Well, no, you wouldn't, because my lines aren't going into the vanishing point. Do you happen to have the ruler there? You keep stealing it to scratch your back with. You weirdo.
You spilt soup or something on it.
Give it. It's probably your back soup.
It's not my back. I don't have back soup, okay?
I just wanted to say back soup. He looks really distraught.
I'm just tired.
I hear that, buddy. This might not work. Know that I'm still learning grids myself, but let's try it.
Get him a back scratch. I have a back scratcher. It's metal and it has measurements on it.
That's my ruler! Stop taking my ruler!
It's so good though. I've been using it to push back the skin on my fingernails as well.
You haven't, have you?
Yeah.
Dude, that's disgusting! Stop! I don't want to use it if you keep using it for stuff like that. Man, that's so grody.
It's not grody.
It's so grody.
It's not grody.
It is grody.
No, it's not. My
yes,
fingernail.
it is.
It's fine.
No. I don't want your dead skin and dirt all over my ruler.
I just told you I was feeling tired, unwell.
Don't give a shit if you're feeling tired. I'll kick your ass. Good. Thank you, Kurzek. I appreciate it. That is grim, right? I'm rated to get me a new metal ruler. Bert's giving you squats as well. You deserve it. You do that to a girl's ruler. Has she what? If we think Buffy might have peed on one of the towels. Like, this plane feels a little bit better, I think. Yeah. Yeah! You was right, Mike. So this is very clear. I like this, like, nice posing that they run in and they trip. To me, I thought they were injured when they first came in, because it kind of read as more of a collapse to me. I think you could make it feel more like a trip if you had a pose a bit closer to the trip. I think the distance between these two poses. I told you had squats.
I've been punished.
Yeah. You shouldn't have used my ruler to dig into your fingernails and scratch your back with, you grody bastard. Alright. I think the distance between these two poses is maybe a bit much for the trip to really register. But if you add another pose, I think that will read super nice. And then it's running, and then we have ba 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 ba. It'd be really nice too if you could give the camera shake a bit of shake every time a foot hits the floor from this dinosaur. Make them feel really big. You know, I actually think you could maybe adjust a pose here to make them look a little bit more threatening. I think Grid's gonna have to go while I do this little draw. I think if you lean them forward a bit more, they look a little bit more like I'm so ready for my next meal, and like have those jaws hang open a little bit, it'll really sell like how dangerous this thing is.
Angabear, hey. How's it going? I just got punished with exercises.
You're not allowed to use my ruler anymore, Mike.
Why?
What do you mean, why? You know exactly why. Hey, thank you so much. Sorbet Owl, thank you for the subscription.
Thank you.
I'm sorry that my dinosaur drawing is bad, but you get the point, hopefully, which is just like, get those teeth out a little bit, give him a little bit more of an aggressive stance, so we really feel like, oh shit, when this dinosaur catches that dinosaur, it's not going to be a good time for the first dinosaur, only for the second dinosaur. Beautiful environment though. I did forget to say that. Like, this is
it's really nice.
Really nice. And then we're cutting into the first dinosaur. And you have some nice acting here where we have them look around. If you can get more of that expression into this front look that you have here, I think that'd really help sell the acting. Because at the minute that expression almost feels kind of blank. Get away from here, dinosaur. I will try and show you. There we are. I think just like giving those eyes a little bit more of a human feel. Using the eye ridges to really like...
Apparently Carnotaurus arms can only point backwards like in the original drawings. Fifth doesn't know dino anatomy. 0 out of 10.
I guess I don't. Let's see. Let me go back and put the arms right. Like they're Naruto running all the time. Something about that is wonderful to me.
So Carnotaurus.
There you are. I'm going to give him little Naruto running arms. I can't not now that you've said that. There he goes. Run, Naruto saw, run! Okay. You found some pictures.
I found a lot of pictures where they're coming out of the front, but I found one where it's super just like tiny arms that go backwards. They're so small.
Mike is having a good time. Yeah, so let's see. The acting is really nice there. I think that I'd start off with this feeling a bit more frantic. So I'd maybe move the glance a little bit sooner. So they're immediately like maybe here, looking behind them. Maybe change that.
Ferocious arm nuggets.
To swing their head there and look.
Kurzik suggests maybe put the camera at a higher angle too to make the dino feel smaller and danger, because we're front on at them.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I like that idea.
We could try that. Let me do a little sketch-a-rooney. We'll see how it looks.
I will elevate the... No, I can't. No.
What
I was gonna be like,
what was that,
I
Mike?
will elevate the camera, show you a whole new perspective.
Don't
Look
you
at
dare
them.
use my ruler.
Oh. It's so useful though. You don't miss it until it's gone.
Ain't it just the way it goes that you don't know what you got till it's gone? Pay paradise, put up a parking lot. Ooh, pop, pop, pop. Like, I try to draw a pupil with this tiny brush. Like this kind
You're
of
right,
thing.
my friend.
Set a bit goal for a new ruler.
A bit goal for a new ruler. Yeah, sure.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. I'll buy a new ruler and then Mike can have this old grody ruler that he's been using.
I'm fine with that.
Maybe I did this a bit too directly above.
Yeah, maybe.
Let me just try putting the grid in first. We'll have it more like this. Pay paradise, put up a parking lot. Ooh, bop, bop, bop. What is it?
Nothing.
I'm sorry that my dinosaur drawings are so cartoony, okay? But I don't have time to make them look super pretty. So, so you're just gonna get like Toy Story-esque cartoony drawings of a dinosaur looking distressed.
You're right, my friend.
Yeah, Sonic, I know.
Some extra for a better ruler.
Thank
Oh, you guys. Thank you. Look what you made people do.
you. Yeah, sure. This was...
You're
It
right, my
was
friend.
you! You destroyed my ruler! So, this is them, they're running. I mean, this gives you the advantage of being able to show the ground plane because the next shot is them tripping, right?
Mm.
So, I'll put try high angle shot.
Dino go honk.
Honk!
Thank you for the bits. Josie, Miss Mama Work, and Vert. Use good people.
See, turn slightly sooner to show, I think to show how frantic they are. Like they can't stop looking behind them because they're so scared. To show fear and franticness. Frantic. And then rather than have them immediately trip as soon as they turn around, because we only get what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
You're right, my friend.
We get 19
Two
frames
rulers.
of them looking behind. I think have a few more steps with them looking behind them and still running forward, just to really sell that they're not looking where they're going.
Mm-hmm.
Rather than have them look and then kind of immediately fall forward. Because it feels a little bit unclear right now that tripping is what's happening. So have them run with their head turned to the side a little, and then have the trip happen.
I have no idea how much a ruler would cost.
A ruler,
Yeah.
like €3.50 or something. Not very much.
A pic of the Simpsons bartender guy with the 2 knives, like, well, I gotta say this is terrific or whatever, but it's 2 rulers. Thank you, Robin, for the bits. If I didn't already say. Yeah, it's the one that India currently has is a metal ruler. That's why it's so effective at scratching.
I hate what you use it for. Okay.
I'll wash it if you want.
Yeah. Please.
Sure.
Please do. Disinfect it.
Yeah, a plastic ruler might be better for what you use the ruler for, actually.
Yeah, it might. This is just the only ruler that I have.
You're so offended.
I'm so offended.
You're so offended.
I think add another panel in here too. Because we get this this black cut here.
Mm.
And I feel like you're trying to do a wipe here. But I think to do a wipe, you kind of need to show it coming even closer to cam first. Like, there just needs to be more feeling of progress towards that before you cut to the black. I think that's one of the things I'm seeing in this is, like, everything is, like, really nice and competent and the drawings are beautiful. But I think some things just need a few more panels or a few more drawings to really sell what's happening. So here they start to fall forward and then have them like continue to fall forward, and this is their crest and the top of their head and their eyes scrunched shut and their body, and have that shaded in not white but like a dark grey or something.
Yeah, like they're come so close to the camera that no light gets between them or something.
Yeah, in fact I need to make this bigger. So that does more of a size difference between the previous frame and this frame. Like, let's just have that crest go off screen. But yeah, you essentially want to step into that black rather than have it go straight from white and kind of white close up to black. That doesn't communicate wipe as much as mid close up with white blocking to super close up with grey blocking to black. Like, that tells the story much more of what's happening. So this is me trying to do an extreme close up. Probably need to be even closer. That'll do. So we see them tumbling. There's a grey fill here. And then we can have this black-white happen. And then same here. If you want to roll straight into this, I think you totally could. Especially if you set up this kind of motion in the previous scene, where we're going off screen to the right, from left to right.
Yeah.
You could totally make this a continuous wipe. You would just need to have a frame here where we're coming out of the wipe. Again, grey fill as we're super close to the camera. And just have that, like, everything happening really close before we go away from the camera.
Nice.
And then I think you could define the environment a little bit here, a little bit more, because there's really no environment here to be seen. It might be nice to show some foliage passing here to really communicate that they're running. Just kind of going into the background like this. So almost like a tunnel of foliage.
Oh, Pokore Mew, thank you.
But I think it'd be nice to work out this background a little bit more, because I'm very like unclear as to what's sky, what's a tree if we're in a cave. So this is clearly like a pile of rubble here. Whether this ground plane is like this, I'm kind of unsure whether these are like trees that are coming in here.
Oh, cool. Ada Lovely is saying that they'll definitely go back to this someday, hopefully when they're not all pretzeled up in pain.
Oh no! Why are you pretzeled up in pain? Ada Lovely! Are you okay? Blink twice for no. Wait. Type I twice for no. I hope that you're alright. I would love to see you go back to this though. This is really cool so far.
Are you at least a salted pretzel?
Just like really defining what that plane is, I think will help. And clarifying the environment here a little bit. Like, is tree? Are these trees? I don't know. I don't know. And I need to know. Science reasons. And then we put 2 down at the bottom here. And I think if you're going to have them fall down like this and end up there and then cut to them being kind of more or less on the left side of the screen, you want the eye trace to go with you there. You want to make sure people are looking in the right place. So let me just move this earlier. Define background. But like, once they hit the bottom, it might be really nice to have the cam pan over with them to set them up in the right position for the next scene.
Oh, that'd be really cool.
Yeah, cam pan with fall. So the cam's following them. And then you'll end up with them more center screen. Because right now they're very much like they're cramped into the corner and kind of pushed off the edge. But if you have them here instead, then when we cut back to more of a center shot, your eyes are already in the right place.
To receive it.
And likewise with this shot, I'd make sure it matches the eye trace of the previous shot. So maybe move them more into the center here and have them on the left hand side. Because here you have them on the right hand side, here you have them on the left. So just try and keep them in a consistent position screen wise. If that means you have to move this drawing over, then so be it. More center comp. Watch your eye trace. And character position on screen from scene to scene. And then we're getting up and running. And again here the grid doesn't quite match what the ground plane is.
Mm-hmm.
Again, that grid is like, we're very much looking down at that. Whereas the actual...
we're way more flat on, like we're down with them.
Yeah, it feels like it's more like... This kind of thing is what it's like.
Maybe even lower.
Yeah, maybe even lower. Popeye comes into the stream. That's what he'd do, right? I feel like Mike's ignoring me.
Sorry, I'm reading the chat. Yeah, something more like that. Yeah, that feels better.
It's them lines I've got to worry about. All those horizontal and vertical lines. Thank you!
Oh, Palbro! Thank you.
Palbro! Thank you so much!
Oh, you gifted one to Pokora Mew. Yay, thank you.
But yeah, watch ground plane. I don't know if I've successfully done it here. I don't know if this is good. I actually don't feel like it is. I feel like maybe I made it too flat on here. But all I can say is check it again and do a better job than I did with it. So we see them go off screen, and that tail really helps with that. I do think that it could do to have another drawing in between these two again, just because I'm unsure if they're leaning on their hands here or if they're actually like walking with their hands in the air, and I think that having an extra drawing will help that. And then we see them come around this corner. And I think maybe one of the problems here is that we're just too close in on a lot of stuff a lot of the time. So it's very difficult. Again, the geography is not very clear. And we really want to make sure that it is. Because especially in chase scenes, like knowing like where the character's headed to, how far behind the other thing is, where feels safe, where doesn't, and a feeling of consistency I think is important. You can of course deliberately create a feeling of chaos and disorientation, that's totally fair, but I think this is something you want to be a clear acting cue here, where they come around the corner, they think that they're safe and they sigh in relief and then close their eyes. And at the minute I don't think it's reading as clearly as it could because it's so close in that it's hard to actually tell they've come round a corner. And they're sighing in relief here because their head's going off the screen because it's so tight. So I think because this is a very close in shot too, you know, you don't necessarily need to have the shot this close in. You could even have them land at the bottom here and then get up on this same shot and run off screen. And then you could have like the other dinosaur's leg come in here after they've gone, like it's still pursuing them. You don't have to do that if you want to keep the other dinosaur off screen until the reveal at the end. That's totally fair too. But I think this very close scene here followed by another very close in scene makes it very hard to tell like how far away this corner is from where they just were.
Yeah, you want to keep up the tenseness, I think. So having that foot come in, because we've only seen the carnivore dinosaur once so far.
Foot come in. Yeah. Like I think one of the sources of tension of a chase scene is to keep cutting back between the two characters, the one who's being pursued and the one who's doing the pursuing. However, I do think also that Ada Lovely wants to do a reveal at the end where we're just following this dinosaur trying to run away, and we don't know where the carnivore is. Gotcha. And then at the end it's like right in front of us. So I understand also if you don't want to bring the foot in here. But I do think one of these shots needs to be like pulled out. So it's clearer like how far the herbivore has run from this scene to this scene.
They could maybe enter from like... No, maybe not. I was going to say they could maybe enter from behind the bush and sort of weave their way so that they...
Who could enter from behind the bush?
The dinosaur.
Which dinosaur?
The herbivore. So in the next shot, could be coming from like here.
Well,
and
I
coming
can't see where
around.
you're pointing.
I don't have it still open, sorry.
Oh, why?
I don't know.
Cool.
But just on the right hand side from around the corner of a bush.
We don't want to change the screen direction of them. So we don't
Yeah,
want them
that's why I was
coming-
unsure about it.
Yeah, we don't want them coming from right to left suddenly.
So Ada Lovely is saying, I want to create a sense of panic on not knowing where the pursuer was. Yeah, but I can change it around some. I think you definitely have that. If that's your
Yeah.
intention, then you're successful in that.
Yeah, that is up to you. If you want to keep that, that makes complete sense. In terms of this, you could just have this rock face be very, very foreground. And then have more of a journey to like get there. So you could have the dinosaur run from further away instead, so it's more of a pulled out shot. They run from there to like to here. And then they end up hiding behind this tree or this rock face. And I think just having that pulled out so we see more of them running towards it will give us more of a sense of where we are and what's happening.
You could have the camera move to the left as they go around the corner so that the tree obscures more of the screen and they're behind it as well.
Yeah, that would be nice. So yeah, they run towards it and then they end up like here.
Oh, I haven't seen Primal yet.
No, I haven't. I really want to. Like that. And then what Mike was saying was that if, as they run around the corner, the camera also pans that way to the left, then we can have that take up more of the screen. And you can have them like literally hiding behind it. So actually have them like almost peering around the corner.
Kurzik's like, it's very bloody, so please be aware of that.
Okay, thanks for the warning. Like this.
I like your little yellow dinosaur.
Thank you. And then you'll have like a nice space for this acting to occur. And when they close their eyes, you cut in anyway. So I don't think it's necessary for you to have it as close in. Often people have shots like this very close in when they want to show that the character's not like aware of their surroundings, because they're intending to, in the same shot, suddenly swing to the left or have the character move and have something revealed that wasn't there before. Or like suddenly pull out. But if you're going to cut anyway into a closer shot of the eyes, there's not necessarily any need for this shot to be as close in as it is, because it's not like you're about to suddenly have the head come round this corner here and then start away in the same shot.
Yeah.
So in that case, give yourself a little bit more space for the acting and then put into this. And I almost feel like maybe the shadow should come over them while their eyes closed, and then they detect that change in light through the eyelids and open their eyes with the shadow over them.
Oh, it could be nice.
Yeah, because otherwise it's like they notice something before the shadow itself comes across. But it puts us into the shoes of the character more if we come to that realization the same time they do.
Yeah.
Which we're incapable of doing here because we don't have any more information. But if with their eyes closed, the shadow comes over and then they open the eye, both the audience and the character are having the same epiphany at the same time.
Yeah, you should be able to communicate everything you need to just in visuals, so that the sound augments it rather than carries it.
Yeah, I think it's okay to have some things be specifically sound cues, but this feels like it is a visual cue. But just that
Yeah.
the visual cue falls after the character already realizes something is wrong.
Yeah, because they could be like, and then you could see the eye dilate of like, okay, I'm safe, and then they sort of close their eyes, and then the shadow comes over, and then you have that contrast of like flicking it open, the eye widens.
Yeah, and I think if you're going to tie it into this shot of them looking up, have the characters start to look up in this shot. So start to look up and move the head. And then cut in on the action of them raising their head up in this shot. And then hold on this for a little bit longer. Because I missed this shot the first time through. Both because it's very dark and because it doesn't have very many frames to read. Let's see, it has... ...27 frames at the minute, which is like just over a second. So try maybe giving it a couple and cut in on the action.
Mm-hmm.
And then here, I think what would be really nice would be like maybe a point of view shot from the perspective of the herbivore. Rather than a cut in straight onto the eye of the carnivore, just because there's been a lot of like cut-ins on eyes and very, very close-up shots.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not like the horror is undermined a little bit by the fact that I'm not always 100% sure what I'm looking at.
Yeah.
So if we're looking up and the Tyrannosaur, well, it's not a Tyrannosaur, but the carnivore is above us, maybe have a shot of that from above, if possible. Like, it's difficult for me to do because I'm not sure where the carnivore is in relation to the herbivore in this scene. I'm assuming it's slightly above them because they're looking up, but I can't actually, like, there's not any other indication other than the shadow over them of where the carnivore is.
Yeah.
Which makes it kind of difficult to know how to
'Cause it
draw a
goes-
point of view shot.
Yeah, it goes really big on the eye, and then it feels like it zooms out. Oh. Yeah.
Look, Michael,
No, it's really funny.
you leave me alone, okay? He's angry. What were you going to say?
It feels like it's zoomed in and then zooms out, and then it comes. The head zooms. The head moves closer into the screen, so it's like you start the camera here, and it goes, and then it's like,
And then back in again, yeah. And then we zoom out from there again, I think. And it becomes a little bit confusing as to actually where these characters are in relation to one another. It might be worth just having an establishing shot at some point of where these characters are in relation to one another. Like, I don't actually know if the carnivore would be looking at them like this. I'm not 100% sure.
There's a lot of choices here left unspecified, so like we don't know whether the dinosaur is like leaning its head around the tree or like
from behind
from
above
behind the tree,
or,
yeah,
like,
or yeah. Because this is the part where you can reveal the cleverness of the carnivore, being like, aha, I snuck up on you.
maybe we just need to insert an establishing shot of like where these two are in relation to one another here.
Yeah.
Like maybe we do need to just pull out
Like you could have a shot where like it's here and she's there. I don't know why I think the herbivore is a she, but I do.
I'm not here to destroy your headcanon, Mike. But yeah, like maybe we need a shot of like this herbivore face to face with this monster.
Aw. Well, maybe you can have a retake on this now that you got fresh eyes on it.
Okay, let's see. Shot behind the canal with head looking down at the herbivore. Yeah, you could have that. Your idea is that it snuck around the tree. Oh, I'm sorry that you were so uncomfortable last week. I mean, this is just me stealing from Jurassic Park. But, having, like... Hello.
There's a kitchen scene in Glitch Text where they're in a kitchen and all the kitchen surfaces are, like, metal and shiny. And they cut... What?
Are you really, like... Are you telling us about the scene from Jurassic Park, but through something which referenced it rather than through Jurassic Park?
No, I'm just saying that I thought that there was a reference to Jurassic Park in Glitch Text.
Oh, I thought you were about to say, there's a scene where they're in a kitchen and they do horror really well there because they have a lot of shiny surfaces.
No.
And something charges at them thinking that the reflection is them.
No,
but
they
it's
don't.
not. And I was like, but that's from Jurassic Park.
They don't. No, they don't go that far at all.
How could you?
It probably isn't even an intentional one. I was just like, kitchen. That's probably just what kitchens look like in big corporate buildings.
Yeah, I think they were definitely doing a Jurassic Park reference though.
Oh, cool.
I mean, wasn't that why you were about to bring it up?
Yeah, I thought they were. I thought they were doing the thing with the raptors in the kitchen.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah.
I get so lost in conversations with you sometimes.
That's because I make sense and you don't.
Is that right?
Yes. The scene with the Garba glitch. Yeah, that one.
I have snuck round the tree like a creepy dinosaur.
Glitch Text is a lot of fun, yeah.
You've been enjoying it?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I mean... Kurzik is threatening me. It's really fun. I like how they incorporate gamer kind of language and stuff into it. Sometimes it feels like it's too on the nose, but that might just be because I'm more familiar with it. You don't think they were referencing Jurassic Park with that scene, but my memory is garbage.
I mean, as far as I know, as soon as I saw it, I was like Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
I'm fairly certain they were.
It's two kids hiding behind a kitchen bunker counter thing.
Yeah.
I say bunker.
About stalking
I realize that probably no one else in the world says bunker when you go into a kitchen.
Maybe not.
It's a Scottish thing.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I've called it that before.
No, I called it that and you were like, what the hell are you on about? And maybe I've just used it over the last 7 years.
What? When did I say what the hell are you on about?
When I first said it was a kitchen bunker.
When?
I don't know, years ago.
Oh, I don't remember that. Maybe you're right. Let me move this camp up a little bit so we see more of the dino.
But yeah, Pablo, give it a watch. I would recommend it. It's fun.
And it needs views and support as well. Like its second season needs to do well.
Yeah.
So if anyone can give it a watch and give it that support, that'd be awesome. Not that I even understand how watch time works and stuff on Netflix, but
yeah. Ada Lovely says the bottom left one has me laughing because all I picture is a big meaty dinosaur head slowly easing in and then just quietly whispering, "Hi,
it's me." That one made me laugh too.
I
That's
want-
the one I blatantly ripped from Jurassic Park. So
Ah.
it's probably not the one you want to use, but I love it. It's so derpy.
Why haven't you returned my calls?
It's not derpy in the way that Jurassic Park used it, but it's definitely derpy when I try and draw it. Maybe. Yeah, maybe add an establishing shot.
India, can you make a little dinosaur short so that you can voice
I
the
already have.
dinosaurs?
It got a turkey.
Oh yeah, you made a little animation with. You didn't put any sounds on it though.
I didn't, I'm sorry. Yeah, and then you could take it straight from this point of view shot into this and have them all roll together. If these shots are meant to roll together already, I think you need a few more panels. Again, just like I was saying earlier, just it can be hard to tell if the shots are meant to be connected when the poses are very widely spaced apart. So I'm definitely not advocating for animating your storyboard, but I am saying like just inserting a few more breakdowns or extra panels in there to really show how the motion would unfold is going to be super helpful.
Mm.
And then with this, last note is just I think this will feel a lot more scary and threatening if the teeth are actually open more. That I'd have them like...
Ada Lovely says, the little Trudon at the beginning I'm now tempted to make look a little vaguely like Bird Swifty.
Oh my gosh, I love that thing at the beginning. It's amazing. What a wonderful design. It makes me so happy.
And Dartfield's like, considering that birds are descendants of dinos, I feel there's a need to have a Swifty bird dino ancestor.
Oh my gosh, I'd love
Do you
that.
remember the Facebook banner you had?
Yeah, with
Bro.
me riding a dinosaur.
Yeah. It's so good. Little
Yeah.
four-armed dino thing.
Yeah.
It was like a space dinosaur or something.
I don't know. I don't remember. I think it had a space helmet on. Hold on, I'm trying to
Sorry.
concentrate on drawing a jaw here,
Sorry.
and it's difficult to like talk and do that at the same time. I just want to make these jaws look like they are more open. I think this is important, but also I'm not communicating it very well in the drawing, so
Put a tongue in there.
I don't think Ada Lovely wants a tongue.
No,
I think
know.
they want just the teeth flashing in the darkness. So if you're not going to help Mike, maybe just, you know, go and have a ruler time with yourself.
Wow.
Yeah, I said it. I
Wow.
went there.
I can't believe you've
Don't
done
though,
this.
because I don't want you to use my ruler like that again. Don't though.
I'm trying to find your...
You're trying to. Yeah, I knew you were. How about you help me figure this out? Huh? Okay, never mind.
You want to have a reference up and just use reference.
Damn it. That's always the answer, isn't it? I want to do something fast. Let's see. Let's do crocodile teeth. Mouth. Open! But I want it to be like from the perspective of me who is being eaten by the crocodile, please.
I don't know.
Oh, he looks so happy!
Yeah, there's one. I saw another one that was more flat on.
Oh, yeah? Where?
If you click off the X on that one.
This one?
Yeah, middle center. Yeah, there you go.
Look at that. Oh, he's so happy. Okay. Just gonna keep this up as reference for a sec.
Nah, I wouldn't be it. I wouldn't. Would I? Would I be a? Would I be a ceratopsian? Dinosaurs like the Triceratops.
Oh, I love Triceratops. T-Tops is my favorite dinosaur.
I think you would be.
T-Tops for life.
What kind of dinosaur do you think I would be?
Something furry, like a bear or a mammoth.
That's not a dinosaur.
A bear is a dinosaur. Bears are directly descended from dinosaurs.
No. No.
That's by how much bullshit can India speak before Mike calls her out for it.
I mean, there's probably prehistoric bears,
Yeah, that's what we want.
but that's not a dinosaur.
That's true. There were third animals back then, though. So there must have been some kind of
Big old sloth.
something. Giant sloth would be a good thing for you.
I'd be like one of those really big penguin ones that you discovered. The long necked dinosaurs
Oh,
are just
yeah.
big penguins.
Be a pleurodon. I think it was actually maybe a plesioth. That's a monster hunter monster. Bitch, plesioth.
You just named a dinosaur after a monster from a
What about the Tigrex?
I will. If we're going for like which Monster Hunter monster, I would be.
No. Going for dinosaurs. I was just being dirt.
I'd be that one that does the little belly dance.
Belly
The
dance.
big old belly, not belly, not belly. No, they know the
ballet
one that
dance.
spins around and has the big old rock tail.
Oh, the Uragan.
No, I don't remember the name of it, but it's not Uragan.
Okay.
That's the one with the big jaw.
Is it?
The one with the big rock. It's green. It's got a big rock
It's
tail.
green?
And it spins.
Green.
Yeah. Let me find. Spinning monster
They have
hunter
some
monster.
spit as well. And it's like, "Rah! Ah!" It's exactly like that.
It might be a Duramborus.
Duramborus.
Yeah, I'd be a Duramborus. He spin.
What would I be?
Brachydios.
A brachydios.
Yeah.
That's rubbish. It's boring.
You'd be a Kazu.
I love Kezu. Okay, I'm happy.
You'd look really weird and your butt would look like your face.
Yep. Sounds like me. My face does look like my butt, but my
Yeah.
butt is very attractive. But yeah, I think something like that might be more threatening. Thank you for pushing me to get reference of that crocodile.
Oh, I've only heard of the Irish elks, but there's one in the museum somewhere around here.
Awesome work though, Ada Lovely. I think the story overall works and all the shot choices work, but in general I think we're a little bit too pulled in, and some of the panels and drawings just could be clarified by having the background either super clear or inserting more drawings just to make it flow together a bit better. Because at the minute it feels like there's a lot of time spent trying to work out exactly what the intent is. So just clearing that up a little bit will help.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope this was helpful. Bring shadow over closed eye. All hail Shadow! Heroes rise again! Oh, Shadow. His song is amazing. It's so edgy. Obliterating everything that's not your friend.
Is that the lyrics?
Yeah.
Whoa!
Oh,
Shadow.
He's such a little tantrum baby. Bring Shadow in while
Obliterating everything that is not your friend.
Yeah, and he doesn't have friends though, because he works alone. Apart from when he works with Rouge and others all the time. But for the most part, even when he works with them, he feels alone.
Oh man, I've not played a game where he's in it. I only know him indirectly
so
through
sad.
your hatred of him.
I don't hate him.
You do,
I
though.
just think he's pointless.
I don't hate him. Why does he exist?
That's all. Hold on. I mean, his song is called All Hail Shadow. His song is about people should worship him. Yeah.
Bow down to Zod.
When there's nothing left to lose, you win.
When there's nothing left to lose.
Bow your heads low, all hail Shadow. He's such an asshole.
Bow, bow, bow. Well, maybe something was lost in translation.
I don't think it was.
Maybe it was like respectfully show your respect to the Shadow, and call him friend, or he will destroy everything.
Everyone calls him friend all the time. Everyone's so determined to be his friend, and he's just so determined not to have any. Anyway. Anywho, yeah. He wasn't meant to make it past Sonic Adventure 2, but he was so popular that he did, and now we can't get rid of him. Maybe something was lost to Buttrock. The only thing that Buttrock ever gave us was gains. Sweet, sweet gains.
Gains, like working out gains. Or games.
Gains.
Oh, okay.
But not the working out kind, just like the my life is full of gains. The gain of happiness. The acceptance and friends.
I don't know what you're doing now.
You don't know what I'm doing? I'm
No.
talking about them sweet gains that have nothing to do with muscle.
Oh, right, okay. Emotional gains. Maturity gains.
Sure.
Okay.
I can't say for sure that Buttrock gave me maturity gains, but it did make me happy, so
Born by himself.
he gets it on by himself.
So, India,
What?
do you have the next challenge for
Oh,
people?
crap-oli! Yes, I was meant to
Oh, you haven't?
think about that.
We could have a week off.
I did come up with one, I just hadn't thought it through properly. I was gonna suggest that people animate flight.
Oh, that's
Because
cool.
I'd be really interested to see everyone's interpretation of flight. Because you know, like how when you fly in a dream, everyone kind of has their own way to do it.
Yeah.
I was just interested in seeing capture that feeling of flight and how people would capture it differently.
I like it.
So it would be an animation challenge. And again, there would be no pressure on it being like any more than a couple of seconds long. And you wouldn't need to spend more than 3 hours on it. But I was interested to see what people would come up with. So I was worried because it wasn't so much a technical challenge. And Animorning challenges are often very technically focused. Like they're like, we're looking at this principle, you're going to learn this from it.
Yeah.
Create this. This is a lot more wishy-washy.
Yeah, but there's a lot of freedom and like scope for something like this.
Yeah, I guess we could try 1 week with a theme. The theme being flight.
Yeah.
And then next week we'll go back to more technical challenges.
Okay.
Because generally I like to give people stuff that gives them tools that they can equip and use in other animations and boards and such, and really fill out their arsenal of techniques that they use. Whereas I don't think this necessarily fulfills that, so I was going to be thinking on it a bit longer, but...
Josie's like, I'm just going to animate Dragon Ball Z.
I mean, they do fly in that, so...
They do a lot in that. Flight being only one of them.
Yeah. So flight is what I mean. Just in case people misheard me, is fight. It's flight with an L.
Imagine there was a challenge that was like fight or flight. You
Fight or
choose.
You decide.
Yeah, flight equals practicing body mechanics, and it can be any method of flight. It could be wing based or hover based or
Yeah.
dream based or whatever.
It's very up to you guys on how you want to interpret it.
Yeah.
I will not accept a picture of a plane being dragged across a screen.
Okay.
You've got to actually like rotate your volumes in space.
Yeah.
But so let's go with a theme then. We'll just do a theme for this week, much like they do in Anime Monthly. And then next week we'll hit it again with the more technical challenges.
Are there still themes for Anime Monthly?
I don't know. I don't know if Ross has continued to post them up.
Okay.
What about the Starship Enterprise flying through space? So long as you animate that going by in perspective or rotating with the volumes, and it's not just a picture being pulled across the screen.
Do you fly in space? I guess the ships flew in Starlight Brigade.
Yeah, they definitely did.
Okay.
So yeah, I guess you do.
Can you...
Alright, Anime Monthly's just become more of a, it's this day and everybody shares stuff.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, flight then.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what people do for it. Maybe I can even find something to submit.
Find something or make something?
Well, if I'm doing flight animations, there might be a bit where someone flies in it. I don't know. It depends what characters I do.
Oh, yeah.
So if I do something like that, then I'll be able to submit it. But if I don't, then I might not have anything.
Who will critique you?
Everyone on the stream, I guess. The chat will critique me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I can't guarantee that I will get past just animating Mikey though this week.
Yeah.
In which case, flight won't be an option.
Only fight.
Only fight. Unless maybe I could do the flight of a large vehicle being pulled across the screen. I don't think that counts.
I mean, I don't see why it... I don't know, man. I don't know. Sound like a dog.
I just need to animate one background pigeon for one of the scenes.
All right. Who are we? Oh my gosh. Sorry. The front page of Twitch is showing like that Avengers game, I guess it is, and like I think it's Miss Marvel. She has all the stretchy arm powers, but for a moment there I was like, is she web slinging? No, she's just stretchy arms. It's cool. That's really cool. Oh, that game looks great.
Punctuary says, I still do not fully understand how submitting things for Animorning works, but it sounds like fun. Oh well, you do it over the week. You do the challenge, you have fun with it, and when you finished it, the deadline for which is probably Sunday night, you can use the form that Mike will post along with the theme itself on Twitter to submit.
Yeah. So if you follow our Twitter, that's where you get most of the Animorning Challenge info updates. So if I do this, and I've chosen who we're rating today.
Adam Lily says, Mamoru K draws close-up Enterprise and scales it down backwards every frame. That doesn't count! Things don't all just come towards you at the same rate. They come towards you at different rates depending on how far they are away from the camera. So if you want to animate it coming into and out of camera, you have to bear in mind all the ways that different perspectives work on the different parts of the ship.
Yeah.
And how the closest things to you will be coming forward faster than the further things away from you.
Yeah.
And yes, Ada Lovely, we can definitely end with a zoom on this delightful creature. Oh, I just need to figure out how to zoom.
Can you
Hold
not
on.
zoom inside of the thing?
Yeah, but I'm sure there's a actual shortcut for it.
Oh.
I don't know what the shortcut was, so I'm just going to use the
tool.
I will use the tool.
Oh. There he is.
There he is.
All right, we are going to raid TB Choi today. TB Choi is an incredible artist. Really good, really great at illustrating and teaching art.
Oh, TB Choi is amazing.
Yeah. So
you will learn so much from TB Choi. Her anatomy is incredible.
Looks like she's drawing some sort of foxy dude. I think you like him, India. Yeah. All right. Thank you so much for coming by today. We'll be back tomorrow. And for more, we're working on the
Rise of the TMNT fighting game that we are mocking up.
Oh
that
gosh.
we'll be working on tomorrow.
I've already initiated the raid, India. I'm sorry. I didn't realize you were drawing a dapper dino.
It's okay, man. Don't even worry about it. It happens.
Yeah, so thank you for coming by. Really appreciate it. And a big thanks to Picori Mio earlier for the host. Appreciate you bringing folks over.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for being here. We hope this was helpful, and we'll be making more stuff tomorrow. Everybody, have an awesome day.
Oh, thanks for the follow, Picori.
Thank you very much. We appreciate it.
Big appreciation. Yeah, thank you. All right. I'll probably just hit the raid and end it on this stream.
Okay. See you guys. Have a great time with TB Choi.
And may the rest
Of your day.
be filled
With
adventure.
adventure.
Take care, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.